is now 7:35 p.m. Will Mrs. Arcisi please call the roll?
Mr. Barker.
Here.
Mr. Bilkey.
Here.
Ms. Brandt.
Here.
Ms. Tully.
Here.
And Mr. Ventura.
Here. I'll ask Tom O'Brien, American Legion Post 801 chaplain, to lead us in prayer, and then following to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. We also ask everyone to remove their hats.
With bowed heads, let us pray. Almighty God, give our elected officials the courage to work together for the common good of the community and to provide us with the services that are necessary for all our citizens to enjoy. We ask the Almighty that you watch over our police and fire personnel, for they are our first responders to crises that may arise at any time, day or night. Keep them safe, so at the end of their workday, they may return unharmed to their homes and loved ones. We further ask, Almighty, that you keep a watchful eye over all our city employees, those civil servants who work hard and accomplish for the benefit of our community. In closing, O God of mercy, we ask for thy blessing and comfort for our neighbors who may be suffering from mental or physical disabilities. Cheer them and bring them thy blessing of health and happiness. Amen. And now please face the flag and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right, first thing on the agenda is the approval of the minutes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the special meeting of August 1st, 2018, and the regular meeting of August 9th minutes.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I'll
Opposed?
abstain from both.
Opposed? Approval of minutes passes. Moving on to public comments, I have one on the list this evening. It's Karen Bartolozzi. If you come to the mic, give your address and name and
Hi, Karen Barlozzi, 1377 Driftwood. Two comments. One was, that was just brought up in there about, I don't think I should pay for development trees. You know, when you brought up that when development goes in, the owner pays for the tree, and not where you have to, you know what I mean, you just talk about it in there. I just don't think I should pay for it.
you technically don't. When they purchase the home, they put $200 into an account for us to plant the tree for them.
Oh, okay.
So but the problem is that we've had some trees that have not survived, and I'm sure Mr. Bilkey could speak to that a little more because it's his development, but.
Yeah, just not Lake Forest, but yeah, every time that a new house is built, depending on where the house is, some homes get 2, some get 3 if they're on a corner, but that homeowner is assessed that when they close.
Okay.
And so when those trees are not planted for 2 or 3 years down the road, it kind of gets frustrating for them. And we just had a rash of that in our development, and I know they had the same thing happen in Gardens of Highland, where they planted the trees, and then they didn't make the first season. And you know, so, you know, I think everything was, you know, good planning, but unfortunately they didn't last.
But do we pay for the trees?
Well, I mean, I guess in general, you're not paying for the trees, but you are paying for the labor. I mean, it's.
So if your trees die in a year,
No,
someone
no,
will pay
I
for it,
mean,
will treat it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would assume, yes. I mean,
All right.
it has to be paid out of somewhere, right?
I just, okay.
I mean, to
The
be
main
open
thing,
with
the
you,
main
yeah.
thing that, I'm sorry, the main thing I want to do is the orange cones that you used to have, that divider, when you turn onto the freeway. I know it was ugly and stuff, but it served a purpose. I've seen so many cars go Speedway this way, and to Penn Station this way, all the time. But the other day, I was driving down Macedonia Commons, cars were ready to go, waiting for the lights, and one guy just decided to pull off in front of me to go that way.
She was in the lane going to Macedonia Commons.
Yes,
not on
I
Macedonia
expect him to
Commons
stay there because he's parked, ready, waiting for the light, but he just decided to, and I almost hit him. Scared me, almost hit him, but it caused a big traffic thing in the middle of a, so I know they're ugly, but you gotta make sure they work, but you don't need the whole strand anymore, but that would help this. It's happening all the time. Somebody's gonna get hit.
So I've been actually working on that. I had a representative in from Speedway probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, and we talked about it, and I actually reached back out to him yesterday to say, you know, what can you do to help? Our police chief has been looking into it. Our service director's been looking into it. And we're trying to put it on them to correct, but if they don't, then we're gonna have to do something differently, because we all know that's not working.
How do they correct it?
Well, it's on their the property's technically on, the
But, I mean-
problem's on their property.
It's to turn this way, but you got people going this way, turning that way. It's not their fault, because they built it right.
Right, but you
They're
can't,
just-
you can't turn into there from the opposing lane, and that's the problem we're running into.
Right, yeah, but they're going to this way to Penn Station's thing too now. I mean, they're going not just to Speedway.
Right.
So they're going around, it's just dangerous, that's all. That's all
I
I.
We're
have-
working on it.
I have been a pain in the mayor's side about this.
Oh, so I wonder where your voice was
Yeah,
coming
it's
from.
only me. The voice of God, yes.
God is talking to me.
One of the things I asked them to look at, have you been down the Streetsboro lately?
Yes.
They did it by Walmart
Well, you also go
because they
down,
were having so many illegal upturns and they put in, what do you call them officially?
Delineators.
Delineators, but theirs are a little more professional looking and a little stronger than the ones we used to have.
yes, I know they were ugly. They did serve a purpose though, but I think we need something because it's happening a lot and somebody's gonna get smacked.
We're trying to avoid the delineators again. I think those look unsightly, and they tended to collect a lot of debris, and they're very difficult to maintain and expensive. So we're
Well, I'm sure You
looking,
guys can figure something out.
Can we
we're
start?
looking at something else.
Yeah, can we start ticketing then? Because if I see 3 people pull in, we haven't ticketed anybody. And I always want to pull up and say, can you read? Because it says, no turn, no
Just
left
like
turn.
Macedonia Commons and the big thing at no into Home Depot. And it's a big sign that says no, but they just do that. But that's a little bit less dangerous than what I'm talking about when I'm driving by and here's this car that,
Right.
well, that was just waiting to turn. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, moving on to pending our new legislation. First one up is ordinance, well, we
85.
could probably just do these, because they're only on second read. Ordinance 82, 2018.
I thought we'd agreed to put all the
Well,
appointments
you know,
first.
Whatever, okay.
Just so you know, we'd agreed to put all the appointments first. The mayor has now changed that, so blame him.
It'll be quick.
I'd like to offer ordinance number 82, 2018 for its second reading by title only, please.
An ordinance creating section, an ordinance creating section 161-23 of the codified ordinances prohibiting nepotism in Macedonia hiring practices.
Ordinance number 83.
Mayor, I move to offer ordinance number 83, 2018 for its second reading by title only.
In ordinance confirming the ordinance creating section 712 of the City of Macedonia's codified ordinances relative to small cell facilities and wireless support structures.
Moving on to ordinance number 85.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer ordinance number 85, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
In ordinance confirming the mayor's promotion of Michael Plez to the position of police sergeant in the City of Macedonia's Police Department.
What's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I ask that we move and pass according to law ordinance number 85, 2018.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Plez, I didn't believe you're here this evening. Welcome, congratulations, and what we're gonna do just before we have a little chat with you here is we're gonna have the 3 of you go through the ordinances here that are being sworn in today, and then we'll call you up and we'll actually do the swearing in, so give you a little insight. But since you're here, could you introduce who's with you and give a little insight to yourself?
I'm Mike Plez. I've been with the City of Macedonia for 6 years. Previously, I worked for Boston Knights for 4 years, so I've been in and around the area for 10 years, working high school football games and other side jobs in the area. This is my beautiful wife, Christy. I'm going to have her stay seated because we got about 2.5 weeks left. I also have my parents, Fred and Mary Alice, my sister, Kristen, her fiance, Jason, and my nephew, Kenny, here with me.
Well, congratulations, thank you. Moving on to ordinance number 86, 2018.
Mayor, I move to offer ordinance 86, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance confirming the appointment by the mayor of Jonathan Desrosier to the position of full-time police officer.
Mayor, I move to adopt ordinance 86, 2018, and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 86 passes. Jonathan, are you with us?
Right here, sir.
How do you pronounce your last name?
DeRozier.
Oh, you were good. Would you like to say something about yourself, introduce your family?
Well, I'll just introduce the family since there's so many of them. My mom, Ann, my father, Rich, my fiancée, Maria, and then my sister, Maggie, my brother, Andrew, and my sister's husband, Ryan, and my brother's girlfriend, Brittany. Is that my friend from the academy here, who is a police officer with the city of Matrix.
Congratulations. Moving on to ordinance number 87, 2018.
I move to offer ordinance 87, 2018 for first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance confirming the appointment by the mayor Brian Sephora to the position of full-time firefighter in the city of Macedonia.
What's your pleasure?
I move to pass and post ordinance number 87, 2018 to the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Just to be clear with all these too, I failed to mention that these are all replacements. These are not new hires for us, but we welcome them nonetheless. So, Ryan, are you with us?
I've got my fiance Amanda here with me, parents working Chris, my grandparents Richard and Anita. I've been with Macedonia now for 2 years part-time. I'm looking forward to go full-time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. If I could have the three of you come up to the front here, we'll do your oath of office and swear you in. Chief, join me, please. Chiefs. Chef.
Top dog.
So you all have different roles here, so you'll have to, at that point, say your role that you're supposed to. Raise your hand. I, and your name.
I, Michael Plus,
Do solemnly swear and affirm that I shall uphold and support in word and spirit.
Give me some.
Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. And affirm that I shall uphold
and affirm that I shall uphold
and support in word and spirit
and support in word and spirit
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
all laws, federal and state,
all laws, federal and state,
the charter,
the charter,
ordinances and resolutions of the City of Macedonia,
ordinances and resolutions of the city of Macedonia,
and I shall faithfully, honestly,
and I shall faithfully and honestly
and impartially discharge my duties as with your role.
impartially discharge my duties as the sergeant.
That's confusing. During my term of office, as I shall answer to God.
During my term of office, as I shall answer to God.
Congratulations. Yeah, if you guys want to bring your spouse or whoever you feel most comfortable with your badge.
as he said, a couple of years. Macedonia residents done an outstanding job for 2 years for us, and I don't see anything that's going to stop him from having a long career, doing a very good job here for the city of Macedonia.
As Michael said, he's been here 6 years, and we stole him from Boston Heights. He was down there. Fine young officer. He's going to work out well. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and we expect a lot from him. Jonathan did very well on our test. He just returned from Fort Leonard Wood, correct, Missouri. He was at officer training school for the Army Reserves, National Guard Reserves. So we expect good things from Jonathan also.
Thanks, guys. Anyone want to take pictures before you head out? Michael,
Still not official until you talk to Joseph.
Jonathan, can you see?
Hey, Sarge.
Sure, leave us all, that's okay.
You guys don't want to stay for the rest?
It's okay.
The best part's yet to come.
Celebrate. Will you see how many people get up after Sue's?
Come over here. All
I
right.
could do that all night long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
All right, well, moving on to resolution number 88.
I'd like to offer Resolution 88 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution confirming the reappointment by the mayor of Sioux Netzel to the City of Macedonia Board of Zoning and Building Code Appeal.
What's your pleasure?
I move we pass and post Resolution 88-2018 according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 88 passes. Mrs. Metzel, I know you've been on that commission for a while, and we reached out to you recently to ask you if you want to continue doing that, and we do appreciate your time and efforts on that board, and welcome you back again. Anything you'd like to add to it?
No. Oh, but wait, we still have to so everyone realizes, these are non-paid positions that people volunteer their time and their effort to. So we appreciate every time one of you says yes.
Okay, moving on to resolution 89.
Kevin.
No, they switched to you.
It was
It
Kevin.
did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Mayor, Council, I move to offer Resolution number 89, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll second it, and then she can read it.
A resolution confirming the reappointment by the mayor of Mike Hawkins to the City of Macedonia Civil Service Commission.
What's your pleasure?
I move that we pass and post Resolution 89, 2018 to the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I don't think Mr. Hawkins is with us tonight, but I know that he has been involved with the city for quite some time, and we welcome back to the Civil Service Commission. Resolution number 90.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to offer resolution number 90, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution confirming the appointment by the mayor of David Finley to the City of Macedonia Planning and Zoning Commission.
What's your pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, I'd ask that we pass and post according to law resolution number 90, 2018, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Finley, is Mr. Finley here tonight?
Yep,
Oh,
right
I'm
there.
sorry. It's been one of them nights, I apologize. Anything you'd like to say?
Just to introduce myself to all those that are still here for the long haul, I guess. I've been a resident here for 10 years, here with my girlfriend Adrian, and I look forward to helping out with the commission.
Thank you.
And your friend Julie.
Don't forget Julie. Hi, Julie.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Resolution 91.
Mayor, I would like to introduce resolution number 91, 2018, and offer it for its first, second, and third readings by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution confirming the appointment by the mayor Vincent Vellucci to the City of Macedonia Board of Zoning and Building Code Appeals.
Mayor, I move to adopt the resolution of 91, 2018, and post the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 91 passes. Mr. Vellucci, I know you're here with us this evening. Anything you'd like to add, sir?
I'd just like to thank you, Mr. Mayor, and all the members of council. I've really enjoyed getting to know all of you. I really look forward to serving on this committee, to serving the city. My wife is actually not here, so unfortunately she's very pregnant as well. I can get her off the couch, unfortunately. I'm sure you'll all meet her at some point. I look forward to it, and I look forward to continuing to work with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think it's important to note that a lot of the folks that we swore in this evening were candidates for the open council seat, and we do appreciate that, you know, your interest in doing that and being here now, even after the fact. So it does mean something to us, and it is appreciated, so thank you. Moving on to ordinance 92.
Mr. Mayor, I move to offer ordinance number 92, 2018, for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending ordinance 97, 2017, relative to the annual appropriations for additional expenditures of the City of Macedonia for the period ending January 1, 2018 to December 31st, 2018.
Any discussion?
I mean, probably should say this is just moving money around, you know, paying some bills. Ronnie,
What?
do you want to add anything?
Can you talk about the golf? Because people always wonder what happens to that money.
Sure. So one of the first things that we're doing is we're increasing the appropriations for the recreation center renovations. And then what we're doing is we are, the golf money comes in and it has to be used for the parks. So what we do with that golf money, the lease that comes in, is we reimburse Fund 204, which is the Parks and Recreation Fund, for any improvements that we do to the parks. So what we're doing is that we're increasing the appropriations for the Parks and Recreation Fund itself, and then we're also increasing the Parks and Recreation Trust Fund, which is where the money goes from the golf course, so that we can then expend the money and reimburse Fund 204 for any expenditures out of that. Does that help? Does that answer your question? Does that answer? Thank you.
That was good, yes.
So I also want to point out that the money is for the tree fund. I know a lot of people, we talked about it in that work session. A lot of people have some concerns about getting their trees planted, so I'm glad to see that we're going to, I guess, refund that fund. So, as in put more money into it, so thank you for that.
And I may add that we're fulfilling our obligation with that, so that's something that we were obligated to take care of, and we're gonna do that, but that's something that we're looking at going forward, changing, because it comes at a high cost, so we're gonna reevaluate that. So with that,
Mr. Mayor, I move to pass and post ordinance number 92, 2018 to the same according to law.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance number 92 passes. Moving on to ordinance number 93.
I'd like to offer ordinance 93, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a community development block grant agreement with Summit County, Ohio, relative to Phase 2 of the Senior Citizen Renovation Project.
And what's your pleasure?
Move that we pass and post ordinance 93-2018 according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And just to be clear, we had a grant for our senior center. Just to give you an idea of what those things look like, this is just for that grant to allocate those funds and what we're gonna utilize them for. So the thinking right now is we're gonna utilize them in the kitchen. They're gonna replace some flooring, countertops, they're gonna do some paint and maybe something with our bathrooms. $30,000 goes a long way, and I know our seniors definitely appreciate that, and that room is used a lot. So it's a really, really good thing, and looking forward to having those improvements. So moving on to ordinance number 94.
Mayor, I move to offer ordinance number 94, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
An ordinance amending section 14702 of the codified ordinances of the city of Macedonia regarding Park and Rec Commission.
This is just a quick house cleaning in the codified ordinances that had the wrong number of council members, so we're changing, we're fixing that up. So that's what this is. So, you want to ask me what I want to do? Should I just tell you?
Go for it.
Okay. Mayor, I move to pass and post ordinance number 94, 2018 to the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance number 94 passes. Ordinance, resolution number 95.
95. Mr. Mayor, I move to offer resolution number 95, 2018 for its first, second, and third reading by title only.
All in favor? Oh, I'm
Aye.
sorry, I waited for my second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
A resolution strongly urging the Ohio Governor and the members of the General Assembly to invest the state budget surplus in municipalities.
So what's happening here is we've put together a resolution to encourage our state government to allocate the funds that they have a surplus of, and I don't remember the exact number, but I believe it was around $320 million. Basically, they took away around $600,000 a year from us, which is why we're going to the ballot in November to try and reallocate some funds that we sorely, sorely need. So we're asking the state to give those funds back to the communities, and I think a lot of cities, townships are asking the same questions and why they're not giving it back to us. So that's the intent of this resolution. Any other discussion?
I just know that a lot of the mayors get together on a regular basis, and this has been a hot topic. And then even in Columbus, I've read that a lot of the mayors are starting to bound together because they know how every local city is just feeling the pinch because they're collecting money and now they're not spending it on us. So I know Mayor Molnar just transitioned this year, but I'm sure he'll be a forefront runner in trying to get this money back in years to come. So I just want everyone to know that we're doing everything we can to try to get more money into our coffers.
What's your pleasure, sir?
Everybody else want to say anything?
That
Well,
was
I
very
move-
well put, Kevin.
I move to pass and post resolution number 95, 2018 to the same according to law.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And I know you got the S in invest. I think I saw you write it down.
Any other?
You know what? As long as the ordinance is correct, this is just nothing. Nothing legal, nothing.
Just a
As long as the
worksheet.
ordinance is correct.
Any other motions or legislative action? Hearing none. Any correspondence from the clerk?
No, sir, I have none.
Moving on to the mayor's report. I failed in my last meeting to talk about the cash flow for the mayor's court for July. The revenue was $53,302.09. August 18 was $41,712. I'm going to do something a little bit different tonight. I've been looking a lot into the past of our community and how we got to where we are today, and something resonated with me with something that Mrs. Arcisi had pulled out for me. And what it is it's the first record of proceedings from our first council meeting as the city of Macedonia from Mayor Long. It's dated June 12th, 1962. It's a little long-winded. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm going to go to what I feel are the highlighted points and kind of elaborate on why I think what he said in 1962 still holds true today. So again, I'm skipping down a little bit, so if it doesn't make much sense at first, it will. Shakespeare said, "Clothes make the man," and well-kept lawns, artistic landscaping, nicely curtained windows, closed garage doors, especially if they face the street, constitute an index to the spirit of the people who are the heart and soul of every village. The spirit, whether it be good or bad, slovenly or neat, well shod or down the heel, is bound to be reflected in the men you elect to public office, for a stream can be no purer than its source, and wise industrialists know that. The job of persuading industry to locate in Macedonia is everyone's business. Just remember that every time you follow the mower across your lawn, every time you plant another shrub, set out another plant, pull the weeds out of the flower bed, put on a fresh coat of paint when needed, you will be doing as much to bring industry to this village as the man who drives the prospective industrialist past your home in an effort to demonstrate that the people of this village are kind of folks among whom it would be pleasant and advantageous to locate. The lack of sewers and water from our privately drilled wells is a handicap which should be removed at the earliest possible moment. But for the time being, this handicap simply makes the selling job harder. We must emphasize the fact that our present situation has its compensations. The land is cheaper. The competitive advantages of our increasingly favorable proximity to advantageous transportation facilities is compelling in the type of police and fire protection and capable forward-looking village officials, especially when acquainted with the problems of the industry, all play an important part in the sales effort. There are many other important problems in which we must be concerned, but inasmuch as tonight's agenda is a heavy and important one, I will mention a few with comment. Among them is the question of roads, which, like the poor, seem to be always with us. Others are street lighting, the early appointment of a badly needed architectural board, improved recreational facilities, and the regulation of public utilities, telephone and water rates, changing the mail delivery system, just to name a few. And if you take what he said there, ironically, it's a lot of the things we're still dealing with today in 2018 from 1962. We talk about where we're at with fire and police protection and why we're going back to the ballot in November, and I'm hearing a number of different things from the community, and what I want to say is simply this. The problems that we had back then, we're having again today. We are the third lowest taxes in Summit County in the city of Macedonia for property. That means something, and Mayor Fru Long mentioned that in 1962, and here we are today. We've been able to maintain those low property taxes, which we should all be proud of, but at some point, something's got to give, and I don't want to compromise our safety into the future. We've talked about this for years, and now we're coming to a head with where we're at financially, and I can only plead with the community to say, if you want to keep the services we have today, we must pass this in November, and I can't be any clearer about that. I'm not going to dwell on what we're going to cut. We will communicate those things if it fails, but the point is this: if we want to maintain what we have today, we need a passage in November. And that's all I'm really going to say about that. So, moving on to committee reports.
Parks and Rec Committee met in August to elect a chairperson and a vice chairperson. Karen Bartolozzi actually was voted as chairperson. Ken Greer, who's not here today, he was voted as the vice chair. I think Ken is the person who's on the commission who's been on there the longest currently. The mayor had spoke with us and said that this commission was going to have more to say with what goes on in the parks, which goes on with the rec center, which is actually how it's spelled out in the charter, so we're going to follow the charter more closely now. So I think the commission's very excited about that, to have say in this, and we've had our first meeting with our new commissioner, and so far it was very productive, and we'll be meeting once a month now on the first Wednesday of each month at 6 o'clock. So our next meeting is October 3rd. That's it.
Any other committee reports? Hearing none, moving on to department reports. First up is Director Notavange.
Thank you, Mayor. Veterans Memorial Park has started phase 2 now. We have nearly cut all of the walkways in that will be in the future park area, based them in stone. And our objective this year to have completed by November will be to concrete 2 walkways, one along South Bedford and one along 82, both off of the main arch entrance, to display a World War I monument for our anniversary in November, and also to bring back the 2 cannons that were previously in that park. They're currently being refurbished. One is complete and the other one is going in to be repainted and touched up, and we can start displaying them as well. Our rec center addition is going smoothly so far, still, thank goodness. Masonry walls are almost all the way up inside, and we have a tentative date for roof installation at the end of this month. By then, we can go back in, finish up our walls, finish up our plumbing, our electrical, and start getting our flooring in. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Gelati?
Thank you, Mayor. We are scheduled to be paving roads in the Crow Drive subdivision beginning next week. After that, our crews will be moving to other roads in other parts of the city to finish those roads that are not yet complete. Otherwise, no further report.
And just to be clear, we're also communicating with U.S. mail letters we're sending out. If you haven't seen them, our website, we are updating nearly daily to reflect what we're doing with all of our construction, because 33 roads is a massive undertaking, and it's been a really tough road for us, but we're pulling through, and I think it's going to be great at the end of it. So if you need anything or you have any questions, Mr. Gelati's number's on our website. You can call my office, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I have a question for Mr. Gelati. So, moving forward next year, are we going to put out a list of which roads are going to be paved? I know it's not going to be as many as we did this year, but furthermore, about what roads are going to be maintained through, because I know that a lot of the money moving forward is going to be there. Are you going to provide that at the beginning of the year of what we're looking at? Or are we just kind of go where, the service department is going to get to some stuff when they get a chance?
Well, there's a few ways as a city we could go about that. One way that we could consider is to update the pavement condition ratings report and use that as a basis to begin the conversation as to what roads we would pave in future years.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Excuse me.
Well, that's kind of generated through the PCR, correct?
Correct,
Pavement
yes.
condition rating. So we're going to reevaluate at the end of this paving season what our roads are, where they all are with our engineer, and we'll have a better picture of the rating, which gives a number to what's worst to the best. So we will be reevaluating. I can't talk today. Reevaluating that. After that tongue twister, if I can't say reevaluate.
I just think that it's good to know, when you're living on a road, if it's going to be upgraded, it'd be fantastic to know that, okay.
Yeah, everybody wants to know.
Everybody wants to know.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Gelati? Director Manley.
Thank you. We have a few upcoming programs to announce. We are hosting a dining etiquette class for children ages 8 through 15 at Casa D'Angelo's on Sunday, October 14th from 3 to 5 p.m. You can register for that at the Recreation Center. We are also hosting a pumpkin painting in the park for families. That is in Longwood Park, Sunday, October 21st from 1 to 4. So there will be refreshments, drinks, food, all kinds of fun things going on. And as a backup, we'll move inside the rec center if need be due to weather on that day. And although this is not a city event, we've worked very closely with the Wizard of Oz Festival Committee. That is coming up. That will be held for its second year in Longwood Park at the end of this month, September 28th, 29th, and 30th. The service department, the mayor's office, and the recreation department has been helping with the planning for that event. So it sounds like they have a lot of wonderful things on their agenda for this year, and we hope people come out and visit that event as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Hall.
Thank you, Mayor. Some information on Rita. I wasn't here last month to give the August update. For the month of August, we received $769,009.58. That's above last year's number by $97,223.75. Our year-to-date through August is $979,212.99. Keep in mind this year is increased by the 0.25%, so we should be at the end of the year roughly around $1.2 to $1.3 million ahead of last year's.
You said it was 9.7, right? Or
979,000 higher than
so
last
it
year.
seems like we're going to hit that number.
We should.
October,
I mean,
November.
fingers
Does
crossed.
December's, does that go on to January's numbers?
So we still so we have to receive August and September. So I was hoping to have that tonight. However, it won't come out until Monday. So I'll have that for the next meeting.
August, September, and November's.
I have 4 more months to record. The income tax refund program is closed. It's now over. But thus far, we have received over 609 applications. We issued 555 refunds for a total of $68,995.20. We still have some applications where an individual has an extension, so those are obviously still open until the extensions get filed. We still have a couple that have filed but have not filed with RETA, so we're waiting for those. And then, just a few stragglers, but for the most part, we're done with the program for this year.
Can I ask a question on that real quick?
Certainly.
Don't expect you to have the exact answers, but I remember looking at the form myself, and how many people decided not to do that or to keep it and let the city keep it to do the roads and that kind of thing?
Well, if they chose to let the city just keep it and not apply, I may not even know about it. We did have about 5, we had 4 donations where they applied, but they donated the refund to a specific purpose. But if they chose not to apply at all, just to let the city keep the money, I'm not aware of any of those.
Okay. Thank you.
Or they might not know about the program.
I think it was pretty well advertised. I'm pretty happy the way it was on the city website.
I'm hoping. The last thing I have is that I met with the Tax Review Board last Friday regarding the Macedonia occupancy program, and they have approved 4 payments of the grants for a total of $127,693.28 to 4 of the participants in that MOP program. So that will be paid out this week, tomorrow. That's all I have.
Thank you. Chief?
I'd like to thank you for the appointment of Ryan. Ryan's been a part-timer with us. Lives in Macedonia, so he brings us back up to full strength with our full-timers, as we had one leave to go to Solon as a full-time firefighter. So that brings us back up, so thank you for that. We have an Explorer open house. Our Explorer program is very, very busy. We have a lot of kids coming in for it. So we have an open house on the 17th, kind of get some more kids involved, 14 through 20. So it's from 7 till 9 here at Station 1. So if you know anybody that's interested in being a fire explorer through the Boy Scouts, it's 14 through 20. Tell them to come on out, and they'll get to meet other explorers and get the program explained. Parents are also welcome to come out too to see what the program's about. So, and also please keep in your thoughts and your prayers the people that are in the way of Florence that's hitting right now. Multiple rescuers are in place down there from across the country. It looked like it downgraded a little bit, but still a very dangerous storm. And so just keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief. Director Goodetti?
I'll just quickly reiterate regarding Ordinance 83/2018, the small cell ordinance. There are some potential preemptive regulations being discussed with the feds, and we're going to track those, and if there's any impact that we can delineate between now and the next council meeting, I'll get an update out to you.
Thank you. Any unfinished business?
We have some new business. Just want to thank the city council and the mayor's office. We got some new digs. We got a new rug in here, and it looks like we got a new paint job around. Is that is that my eyes? The paint's the same?
No,
No,
The
it's
paint's
new.
new, right?
You stole my thunder, but we.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had a.
We do that a lot, don't we?
It's okay. We had a insurance claim because someone had walked through here with some type of material on their shoes, and you saw big footprints going all the way through the carpeting, and then completely just.
Size 7.
It was bigger than 7.
No, it fit my shoe.
Oh, well, maybe it wasn't.
It was 7.
But they walked through with what we maybe think is bleach or something of that nature, and it just completely destroyed this room. So in addition to that, we bought a gallon of paint and kind of matched our colors for once. So
And the gentleman who did this, the painting,
Steve Plata.
we need to say thank you, because not only the painting, he actually asked to take a look at it before it was done. We had a visitor during our council interviews for replacement of the seat, and it turned out to be raccoons in the wall. And so the fire department came in and got them out and created the hole. You would never know looking underneath the fire alarm that there was a hole that had been there. He did an absolutely great job.
Mayor?
If you could have seen the people standing around when the hole was opened up and the raccoon poked its head out, it would have been a good laugh for all, because I'm still
Someone has
laughing
it
about
on
it.
film.
That's great.
I would like to publicly welcome back Mr. Shane Barker to the podium. He is bringing back a lot of knowledge and experience, and I am so glad to have him, and thank you.
And I wanted to mention, I appreciate the confidence you guys have shown in me. It's a little frightening at times that people have done that with me. And the two gentlemen that, the competition that I had was pretty fierce, and for me to be in that position, please continue to be involved. I see you guys are still involved. That's huge. Keep doing it, and love to see, that's the way. I mean, I just got off the Charter Review Commission, and to see people get involved in the community, you have to be involved to make changes that you want to see. And I see that council is almost all changed since I've been on there. Jan is back. Nick is a little higher than he was, so it's. But I'm glad to be back. It feels pretty natural. So thank you.
And Karen, was that your interview that we had the visitors?
You thought they were my pets, they weren't.
Karen, they showed up when Karen showed up.
First showed up to me, and it was like, you bring your pets down.
Well, it was funny because you thought when you were going to leave that they'd quiet down,
Yes, like
and then you got panicked, and when you got up to go to leave, they quieted down. You sat back down, and they started up again.
I too want to welcome David and Vincent to the family. Welcome. Thanks for staying involved.
And welcome back, Shane. I know you and I have served
Oh, yeah.
for a number of
Welcome back,
years,
Shane.
and we appreciate having you back, and wish you nothing but good luck. Any new business?
The only other thing I'd like to mention is September 11th, we have a piece of that history here, and it's a very difficult time to speak and to think about, but it's also unbelievable to think how many years have already passed. Keep in your hearts all those families from New York, DC, and Pennsylvania, and there is never a way you can forget what happened to those who were unsuspecting, but then to those who ran into buildings knowing that they were going to try and rescue people with the police and fire, and those valiant people on the plane that decided we're controlling our destiny.
Well said, Jim.
Thank
Make
you.
a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.